Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk contracts and chaos. Okay,
All right.
tell us what we're talking about. We're dragging.
We are
today.
we're not in this yet today. Y'all.
Even our debrief before we hit go was real.
I know. Normally, I'm Mabel. If you guys are listening, that snort was Mabel.
She's the
she just came out of nowhere.
cutest baby doggy ever.
Hi,
But no,
Brenna.
even our debrief was not animated. It was kind of
No, we literally started with, normally we're like, hey, I haven't seen you in a week.
In
We
a
both
whole
started
week.
with, hey,
Hi.
you good? You awake yet?
Great.
Nope.
Let's
Oh, look,
go.
we wore the same color sweatshirts
We
today. Cute. Are you alive? No. But anyway, maybe
Here we
that's
go.
a red flag is when your realtor can't wake up in the morning. So today we're talking about real estate red flags, and this is just going to be a rapid fire things we've seen that we think are red flags, whether it's in a listing, whether it's with another agent's behavior. I don't think we put any client-facing ones in here, but you never know. We might find one along the way. And this is all sprouted from things we've encountered lately. So I think the biggest one for me, Brenna,
Oh boy,
was actually your experience.
my experience.
This is what tipped off, literally, this was a conversation off recording a couple weeks ago where we were talking about, things going on. And you were like, you're talking to me about this transaction and how, what did the agent say to you about compensation in the MLS?
I screenshotted this to you
Yes.
because I was like, I'm misunderstanding this. I have to be misunderstanding this because here's what happened. I had relocation clients coming into town. We had finalized the list of properties that they wanted to look at, right? So here I am doing my due diligence, printing out the disclosures, reaching out to the agents, introducing myself, asking them if and what their seller may or may not be offering for a buyer agent commission, right? Because it plays a part into this client's decision. And this agent acted like I was a spam caller when I called. So I texted and they responded, but it's like super fishy. Like they didn't believe that I was who I said I was. And it went on
That's
to
the part that
basically,
gets me.
right. And the agent was like, well, you must not have access to our MLS. What MLS are you in? And I told them, they're like, it's in the MLS. You should be able to pull this information directly from the MLS. And I said, commission is no longer able to be advertised in the multiple listing service. It can
And
be
guys,
on a
so for reference, we are recording this April
In
21st
2026.
of 2026.
right. It's been a hot
And
minute.
that rule went into effect, was it August of 24, 25? This is
24.
this is a year and a half old. And
Yeah.
this conversation, Brenna and I discussed 2 weeks
Last
ago.
week.
Last week? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not an old thing we're digging up. This is literally in March or April of 2026.
Right.
This agent had no idea.
So I was like, commission is no longer able to be advertised. It's not at the bottom of the page. And she was like, oh, really? Question mark. And I was like, yes, really. That's why I'm reaching out to you, because it's not advertised. Unless you have your own, again, separate website that you choose to advertise on, that's fine. But where I'm looking, that information is not available. And I sent it to Alyssa and I was like, how does this happen? How does this happen?
It's small firms with agents who do 1 or 2 deals a year.
Well, listen,
who
there's no hate
don't
either
show up
where
for-
you are and what
right.
you do.
But I think it's more they're tuned out. They're not the agents who are trying to do more than 2 a year, who are in the continuing eds, doing the things, and they aren't there yet. This is the agent, in my opinion, who's checked out, not coming to trainings, not, staying abreast as to what's happening in the industry, because they're at the point where they're doing 1 or 2 deals a year for friends or family or whatever happens to come their way.
Well, and here's the problem that happens with, and there's a few different red flags in here like this, right? But the bigger problem is it's not just them not having the information, it's them sharing the wrong information with our clients, right? And I say ours because we are an industry, right? There are good realtors and there are not so good realtors and there are downright terrible realtors. That's just how it is. But we all are in the same industry. So when I say you're feeding our clients the wrong information, you are, because they could be all of our clients. So it's just like somebody telling, and this was closer to when the change happened. A buyer had said, oh, so-and-so told me that that was fake news. Oh,
I hate that. It's fake news.
It's fake news.
Okay.
That's wonderful. It's not, right? So the problem is you have people either not educated and sharing this information, or like Alyssa said, they might not even know themselves because they aren't in the midst of it. They're not doing enough business to have it pushed in their face all of the time, or they're not super active in their brokerage. They're not super active in they show up to CE, but not, you know what I mean? Like the effort is not always there. But the problem is with most of these red flags is that it's a trickle-down effect to how they then interact with the rest of us as an industry.
Right. And I think it's and I don't want to put all the blame on agents, because sometimes, like, I know of a firm, it's a very small firm, an attorney owns it, he's the BIC. He opened it for his friends who wanted to be agents, who didn't want to go to a big box firm, who, you know, they're not, some of them are producers, but not like, I wouldn't say, no, maybe in their area they can live on that full salary, but they're not, they don't appear to be pushing to be top in their industry, which is fine. But that's where I put it on the BIC, because are they not holding trainings? And one of their agents told me, they're like, no, you hang your license under him, and as long as you don't get a warning, he doesn't really look at anything.
Well, and I feel like that happens a lot, but there are, like, gosh, when this big change took effect, it was all over our general update for continuing education. I swear that's all they talked about.
It was all over the media. Like, my mom, hi, Mom. Yes, she's 6 degrees from real estate, the Kevin Bacon version of real estate, which if you're on TikTok today, you need to look up Kevin Bacon's TikTok today because it's really funny. But it's him standing like in Times Square somewhere in New York going, oh, when you realize you're the person everyone is 6 degrees from. But even she was like, oh, the Today Show just mentioned. So it's not like you could miss this unless you literally lived under a stone. So, and I think that's what you're going to find a lot of in here. Like, to me, that's a dangerous red flag too. That's a practiced red flag where you could get in big trouble or get your clients in a situation.
Yeah. A lot of these red flags are, so speaking from the other agent's perspective, right? That's where most of these red flags come from. And in an effort to dampen the effect on my clients, right? So like this, talking about listing photos, right? If I can see your reflection in the bathroom mirror,
I love that one. Love it.
In this photo, that's great. If it is like a very obvious like selfie shot photo, like the vertical, because the MLS has different pixels and like what size they're supposed to be. So if they're not, it shows up completely wonky. Did I send you the one last week that the MLS photo was literally upside down?
I don't think so. But
it was funny. One of the photos, just one in the lineup, was completely upside down. And I was like, oh no, right? But these kinds of things, and it seems trivial and it seems like a jerk thing, right, for us to be like pointing this out. But when I go through and I'm seeing like toilet seats up and blinds mismatched and things, either the photographer doesn't know what they're doing, right? The listing agent didn't show up to the photography appointment and the photographer doesn't know what they're doing.
I'll be honest. That's not my photographer's job.
It isn't.
I don't put that on my photographer. Now, if I'm there and he sees me putting toothpaste in a drawer, putting toilet seats down, I would hope that if he notices I missed something, he would say something.
Yep.
But to me, that's...
But a lot
Now,
of them will
like-
say that the house needs to be shoot ready. They don't want to go in and
Right.
open blinds. They don't want to go in and check and make sure the toilet seats are down. Like,
Right.
My photographer is the same way. If she goes, I feel like she looks and is like, if there's anything glaringly obvious, she's
right.
gonna
Like
adjust
mine
it.
will obviously open the blinds. I've seen him turn ceiling fans off where like I turned the light on and didn't realize the fan turned on.
Oh my God, that's another one. If your pictures have a ceiling fan that looks like it is about to take off for outer space, that's goodness.
Or
folks,
like I had to call an agent once. Now we're not getting political. I'm okay with Second Amendment. There's a whole spectrum of that, so we'll get into that another day. But I saw a listing photo with a giant firearm in it, and I called the agent. I was like, "Hey, did you know?" And she was like, "Oh my God, take it." But I've also been to a showing where, and this was recent, another red flag. We discussed this on a previous episode about what costs you money and what's actually an upgrade. Same house. Open the closet, and there is a full-on rifle. Not propped up in a corner, behind clothes. Not in a gun safe. Literally laying there across the owner's shoes. Thank God it was me and my clients who are, also like they're hunters. They're comfortable with firearms. And not someone's freaking kid running through a house, opening doors. Or if someone who's not okay with firearms. Like, come on now. But yeah, it was blatant in a listing photo. I was like, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your listing, but were you aware? And she was just like, oh my God, thank you. Because
it's a safety thing at that issue too. But I mean, I had clients that there was mounts on the walls, right? Like they were avid hunters, the sellers were, and my clients wouldn't even go look at the house.
Yeah. And that's that's a thing where, and we said we weren't deep diving on this today, it was just rapid fire. But it is a thing. Like for some people, mounts on walls are the same, if not worse, than political flags and religious references. I have clients who are like, oh my God, they walk in the house, they're like, oh, they're Christian too. Okay, cool. But there are other people who walk in and go, ooh, we're going to have to sage this place. So just like eliminate.
And I guess it's not really
divisive.
Right. It's not really a red flag per se, but just setting yourself up, and this is a completely different topic, really, setting yourself up for success. But seriously, it's the little things in those details that are just like, if it looks like somebody died there, you should probably
if
change
this
it
looks
up.
like, or if it's like, when you watch a documentary, and not even a crime one, but just like they have the old photos and it's like a little grainy and a little blurry. Like if this looks like your
dark.
mom's your mom's front yard prom photo from the 70s, it's probably not what we should be using to list your house.
It's funny. I had and again, we'll tie this all together, I swear, because ultimately what happens is when we're the buffer for our clients. So in this example, we're talking about other listings. So if we're setting up showings, like I'm then able to kind of like coach my clients through like, so listen, here's what we see in the photos. And sometimes they don't notice some of the things, right? But I'm like,
because this can go the other way. This could be a complete 180.
Absolutely. So I'm able to kind of set expectations for them, right? And another red flag we'll get into in a second, like agent's not answering the phone. Like I'm trying to make a connection before we go show. You can't call me back or respond to a text message or an email with like 5 days heads up, right? I'll spread them out, but like you're not reaching out to me, I can let my clients know, hey, I've reached out to them this many times. This communication might be like this throughout the transaction. And that's not to scare you away from the transaction, but it's also setting myself up for success. So when they're like, hey, are we scheduled to have the septic pumped, in 3 weeks when we're under contract? It's not that they think that I'm not doing my job. It's that we're still waiting for somebody else to do theirs.
Right. Yep.
Yes. So, but yeah, this one is a funny one. I had clients, and God love them, in the most difficult pre-approval spot, right? We're talking low 100,000 and their FHA, right?
Oof, and to put into reference, guys, like in our area, and we're 30 minutes apart. In the town I'm in, $100,000 is going to be a teardown. Just being completely honest, it's probably a teardown. Where Brenna is may not be quite of a teardown, but it's going to be close to it, and there's no way you're getting FHA out
God,
of it.
FHA is not happening.
There's just
right?
the condition won't support it.
So they send me this listing, and I'd seen it, right? And I'd reached out to the agent because there's one exterior photo, and it's a little sketch, right? But it's just one photo. So like, this could be perfect, right? It's listed as cash, FHA, USDA, VA, and I immediately know it's not going to work anyways because it's not even in a USDA eligible area. So why is USDA listed on there? But my poor clients are like, it says FHA on it, and I'm like, Lord have mercy.
But you can't fault them. You can't, like, they don't know.
They don't.
Like,
well, no, they don't.
One of the things I always tell my clients is listings are always, or not always, but often listings are marked incorrectly. And so
they just go through and check the boxes.
Sometimes I limit what I put in our search criteria because it might accidentally eliminate something. But it's also, it said, I mean, I've run across this. It's not financing, but it said there was a fireplace. There's no freaking fire. They took it out 15 years ago.
Yep.
So
1,000%. So I said, I saw this one, and I've reached out to the agent for additional photos because really, like, I can't tell anything from this exterior photo that was taken from the main road of this house, right? I shit you not, the Google Drive that was sent to me made me want to take a shower.
Blech. Blech.
I scrolled through and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't put these photos in my listing either, actually, now that you're mentioning it. But here we go. So I send it to my clients. I said, hey, here's this house that you love so much, right? And I have a text message. It's so funny. She's like, is that poop on the toilet? And I'm like, I think so. Ugh. I'm pretty sure. I'm quite confident.
I remember back in the day when I was like for a couple years out of college and thought I was going to buy this house. And so I was looking at listings and I was visiting family, and my cousin's husband, who's a little older and he's an attorney, love him, love Pete. There was no interior photos, and it was the same thing. I was like, oh my God, look, it's so perfect. And he just goes, oof, no inside photos. It's a dump. And he was right. I was like, at the time, I was like, no, maybe they just haven't finished them yet. So naive. No, it was awful. Awful.
It was dreadful. So there's things like that. But then also we get into if there's no description in the MLS and it just says call for more info.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or the ones that come, I get that limited listings are a thing. I hate them, but I understand they're a thing. I don't think they should be, but that's a topic for another day.
Yep.
But when there's not even, again, no description and it just says call owner.
Oh.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. You couldn't even, for the $500 or $1,000 you're charging to put this in MLS, you couldn't even chat GPT a bullshit description. Come on now.
Well, I had one for clients. Again, I've been working with a lot of relocation this year. A lot of relocation. Anyways, wanted to see this house. It is a $600,000 house. Beautiful brick house, 3 acres, right? Wonderful. The pictures aren't great, right? It looks like cell phone pictures, which turns out that they are, that the homeowner submitted himself to a power of attorney that is selling as like a brokerage kind of situation. So this power of attorney signs all the documents, like makes all the agreements essentially, because the seller gave them permission to do that. But what the seller didn't give them permission to do was to show the house. So I'm talking to, and his name wasn't Tyler, but let's say Tyler. And I was like, oh yeah, no, like this is a great house. Your clients are going to love it. And it's been listed now for like 68 days. We haven't been able to coordinate with the seller any times for somebody to show the house. But if you were to submit an offer, I'm sure we could allow access for a home inspection. What?
So you want
this isn't an investment property
to do your job,
right? Investors will do that, right? Like sight unseen offers, but they live 3 states away, anyways. But this is different. This is not a rental property. This is not even. It wouldn't be an investment property. This is going to be picked up by a family, right? But it's not, because there's no access to it. Their pictures aren't they only have pictures of 2 out of the 3 bedrooms and one major shot of like the kitchen and the living room. So you can't see what the house looks like. It could be a $600,000 house. It could be a $425,000 house, but we won't know because we can't see it.
Right. That's the one that I was supposed to show later today, and then they changed it again. They were only doing investors, and so it was, well, you can see it after we have an acceptable offer, but no one was writing offers, so they opened it up to owner-occupy today for a 1-hour open house the tenant was allowing. But then it was supposed to be 2:30 to 3:30 today. Canceled it this morning because he doesn't want to leave his dog alone with strangers. Okay, I get it. I'm a dog mom. I get it. But now it's like, and the owner has agreed, has stated he will buy the tenant out of the lease, and the tenant is aware. But it's like, if he's going to do this, even my client, she's like, this is not going to be easy to get showings or inspections. How do I know he's going to leave? Like, and she's like, I don't know if I can, like, I have kids. I'm selling my house. But again, it's just like, if you're going to do an as is, my approach is then the seller should be paying for an inspection to say, here's everything. Here's, especially if you're like, even if you're not an investor, but like, okay, you've never lived in it, so you really don't know. And I guess that's a loophole in the way our disclosures and rules work. But I think if you truly want to move that property and it's as is, then do an inspection. Mm-hmm. Or at least have your contractor come over and look at things and be like, this is going to have to be taken care of. Because you can say as is, but according to the contract, we still get to try to negotiate. So you still may lose that deal.
Yeah, it's so fun. They're like, oh, we had it listed as is. It literally, it's 2 words that mean basically nothing. If the agent is good at their job, they're going to ask for whatever they need, regardless of what the listing says. Also, stop writing buyer's agents welcome in the description. Okay, please. You're going to get us all in trouble again. Okay, great. Communication. We kind of touched on this a little bit. They're not picking up the phone.
I had an agent this week, Brenna, hang up on me 3 times and then hit the ignore button because I started my call with, hey, we'll say Tyler. Hey, Tyler, this is Alyssa with Real Broker. Click. Hey, Tyler,
I get a lot of spam, but even I'm too polite to hang up on people.
But when you have a listing and an agent from another brokerage is calling you, so finally, he hit the ignore button. I sent a text. Same thing. Hey, Tyler, this is Alyssa with Real Broker. I have a client interested in your listing. Give me a call when you have a chance because I have some questions.
And listen, if there's a Tyler,
suddenly had signal somewhere and clear as day could. Oh, and he tried to pass off. Oh, I have a couple missed calls. It must have dropped. I was like, I called him on it. I said, no, I heard you answer. I could hear you perfectly fine. Well, so what were your questions?
Yeah, that's terrible. If there's a Tyler that listens to our show, we're not hating on you as a Tyler. It was just the easy name that came up.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a Tyler thing, but
if you're a Tyler that runs around in like Mountain Dew hats, or a Kyle that runs around in Mountain Dew hats, or like Monster, was it Monster? It's not the Mountain Dew hats anymore. It's the Monster hats. It might be, but or like the other one is like I had this yesterday. She has one listing. Now, granted, I don't know what the rest of her life is like.
Right.
But she has set up the Google screening.
Oh, God.
I hate
terrible.
it. I don't even care if you are super busy. Yeah. I can't stand it.
Yeah. There's 2 things that drive me bonkers is the, just seeing this, right? Whether it's listen, I don't see things, right? Sometimes I don't.
Or like it'll
really
pop
happens.
up on my watch and I forget because it clears it on my phone. I get it, but
the Apple needs to fix that. All right, just because I saw it on my watch doesn't mean that it registered in my head. Right. But even then, if I've like genuinely missed something, it's thank you for your patience. Here's the response you were looking for. Not like, shoot, sorry, I don't know how I didn't hit send on this, or the voicemail box is full. Please try your call again later.
Or this person does not have their voicemail set up. How, as not even just a professional, but as a human being, unless you are a 7-year-old who has a phone for some reason. Why is your voicemail not set up? Mine with the, I didn't see this, or it's the lack of response for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Is the one that really got me was the agent who at the beginning of a transaction scolded me for having a TC. But then there were 4 very blatant points in our transaction where she just disappeared for days and wasn't communicating. And it was, oh, I was in the hospital. Oh, I'm full of showings and closings today. And it's like, oh, well, maybe if you had a TC to take care of this, because it was literally just one of them was asking for signatures. Oh, my client works, weird hours, 12-hour shifts. That's weird, because he wasn't on title and he still showed up to closing he didn't have to freaking be at. So I don't think this is your client. But
well, and trying to look at it from a, place of they are busy, right? Or that they did forget. That's an opportunity for you to, like, if I feel like, and I feel guilty, right? If I genuinely miss something, I'm oh my God, lose sleep over it. Oh, it's terrible, right? So I assume that there's people out there like that as well, that they're like, oh, wow. And I think it stems back from being a waitress. I used to dream about the tables that I forgot to bring ranch to. You know what I mean?
Yes, you would get home and you'd wake up in a sweat. Oh my God. Did I
Table
charge
16
them for the green beans they never got?
Table 16 didn't get ranch. It's terrible, right? Like I have guilt. Yes. So I know that there's people out there in this industry that are also like, oh my God, I completely forgot to send that zip form today. You don't have to lie to me about it. Just tell them. I mean, we've all been sent to my client,
Right.
And for me, it's the ones like if they forgot something, great. It happens to all of us. If it's the repetitive nature of it. Like if I'm trying to call you and you don't answer the phone, and this has happened throughout the whole transaction, that's when I'm not mad if you forgot one thing, right?
Right.
You might be running. I mean, I had a couple weeks ago, how many was it? 13 showings in one day. I was busy, right?
Yeah, and if you don't have a driver, like you're not getting to things in between
absolutely
showings.
Not. Nope. So it was one of those things, like I understand that life happens for sure. But if it's like and every time I ask you for something or every time something needs to be addressed, it's like this, then I am annoyed.
Or what double annoys me is when they try to flip the script and they're trying to catch you because they think you're slipping. So this agent then was like, are you going to respond to our counter offer on due diligence because it ends at 5:00 and it's 2:30, so we're down to the wire. And my response was just, per the contract, due diligence ends tomorrow. Because she didn't know. And it was just like, don't try to catch me. Please don't. When I'm the one that's been on top of things this entire time, but you think I wasn't because the first day I didn't respond to your text message within an hour because I was with people.
I mean, I can be a petty Betty sometimes, not going to lie. So one recent transaction we had, and our transaction coordinator can confirm this for you, we sent this document to the closing attorney no less than 4 times. No less than 4 times. I've never worked with this attorney. Probably won't recommend. Yeah. Right? But we sent no less than 4 times. So finally, there's another one like, oh, hey, just reminding you, we need this. And mind you, there's like 3 or 4 people CC'd on this email, right? Everybody's getting a copy of this. So all I did was like forward the original message again, which is, it shows the date, the timestamp, like, oh yeah, here's this again.
Right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because I know because we share a TC, Emily. If Emily says, because I'll watch things go back and forth, and if I'm like, why are we asking for this again? But I'm like, I let Emily do her thing. But if Emily is like, Alyssa, I'm like, all right, got it. Because then and it's not that I'm ignoring things. She knows I'm not. She knows I see it, but I don't want to step on her toes either. But yeah, if I have to step in, that means that something is not working correctly. And that's like, so that brings up another point that I encountered recently was they didn't read the contract, like the full thing. So I had an agent, we wrote a beautiful offer. They countered, we agreed, and they countered and said everything else the same. So when we sent for signatures, all of a sudden it was, why is earnest money not being delivered until here? And I said, because it doesn't go in, like South Carolina is weird. Technically, it doesn't go into effect ever, but It's a whole different topic for another day. But I was like, because the due diligence covers us until then. Well, that puts nothing on the line for my client, because what if you don't deliver the termination fee? I said, well, then we wouldn't be terminated. We're technically still under contract.
Right.
And so you could force performance. And I was like, you said all other terms the same. Mm-hmm. You agreed to this. This was in the original. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, my client's not okay with it now. What I think he really meant was, oh, I didn't catch this, and now my client caught it, and she's not okay with it.
That
so
just
then I had to
happened to me.
like read the whole contract, because this happened with the agent who was ghosting too, and it came back to math. It was, we were negotiating repairs and concessions. We had a concession already in our offer that they had agreed to. She came back with a number for the concessions for repairs. And thank God I had the mind to clarify and say, this is in addition to, correct? Because if I hadn't, she had forgotten the other one. It would have reduced our total concessions. Mm-hmm. She not only missed the original one, so our clients had no idea they were paying part of our closing costs. Then she miscalculated because of that. Then miscalculated, once she caught it, miscalculated again, so that her clients were going to have to bring money to closing that they didn't have. I got the Alta. You know how you're talking about an agent who was mad at you for you made more money as the buyer's agent? Mm-hmm. Oh, I bet she was pissed when she realized I got my full percentage. She made 0.75% on that transaction, all because of her mistakes. Partially because she had to start low lesson. Because the clients were selling in less than a year. And so she took it, I don't get me wrong, we all make decisions in life, but she took it at a much lower compensation than I ever would have. And because there's costs to business. It's not about being greedy. There are costs to doing this job. They're not paying you just for a service. There's also things that they are, like a compensation covers for a listing. And she ended up, when I did the math, 0.75%. I mean, that barely covers the photos and sticking the sign in the yard.
And I have a friend that ended up having to buy like a full appliance package because that was one of the things that she didn't like note in the offer, that they had asked for all of that to stay. So then her client took it all with them when they moved across the country, and then the buyers went for their final walkthrough and was like, it's in the contract. And sure enough, it was in the contract. So she ended up having to buy the same set of appliances and put it in the property. Which that's a pricey right? lesson. But the same thing with the.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're all right. I think we had like a little baby delay there. I had the same thing though. We presented an offer. They changed like the offer price and countered, right? And they're like, all other terms acceptable, right? Well, then sure, we change it, send it back, and then all of a sudden, why is there $4,500 in seller concessions in here? What?
It's been there.
It's been there. It was there in the original one. Oh, well, I'm going to have to talk to my clients about this. That's fine. You're supposed to do that, but you should have done that originally.
And what kills me is like when I present my offers, I don't just send an email that says like see offer attached. Mm-mm. It's written out in the email in like bullet points. So it's clear as a day.
My email's so annoying. People probably hate getting my email because I'm just like, hi, so excited. I'm working with this client. They're pre-approved with this lender. I've worked with this lender however many times. We have this percentage rate of getting to closing on time. You have a, response guarantee for me. Like the whole nine.
I love it.
Here's our offer.
I want you to send me that as a draft so I can edit mine because I thought mine was good, but that sounds beautiful.
I love it. Here's a summary of terms as follows. Here's you go. And then we look forward to hearing from you and your seller and open to any negotiation they may deem necessary for this to be an easy decision for them.
Right. Well, and like, guys, this is a legally binding contract. Mm-hmm. This is terms that could land you in court. Not just your clients being sued, but you being sued. You can't, it's not a group project you can skim and like turn in a half-assed your portion of it. Mm-hmm. This is lawsuit worthy if you screw this up. Mm-hmm. So make sure you're reading it. The other one I love is like, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say this isn't a hate episode, you guys.
This is a warning. This is a, hey, one, don't be these people. And two, like, if you see this, just beware.
And
just beware.
Exactly like we said in the beginning, like understand and know that maybe it's going to be a rocky transition. Maybe you should read everything twice before you send it for your clients to sign. Again, the other thing, and this is just lazy, but when you're sending an offer, please put all of the agent's information in the last page. I'm sure that each state is different, but like if I have to put my own license number and address and all of the stuff in there, I'm just like, if we're gonna, this is how it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
and you know how I know that's become an issue? Because I've started seeing in agents' notes, and I love it, and I'm going to ask Emily to start putting it in mine. One of my irritations is like the way our MLS is set up. You have to click like 5 different places to find all their information, especially with South Carolina, or the other MLS I'm in. But I love when they put it in the notes how they want it. This is the name. This is the email. This is the phone number. This is like
the license number. All of it
because then I'm not clicking 5 like. Beautiful. I'm literally going to type that out for Emily and be like, yo, put this in agent notes from now on to make it easy because, yeah, I do agree. My other red flag is when you see a listing first day on market, second day, when you know it's not in a crazy neighborhood, it's not a prime market, and you see highest and best by Sunday at 4 p.m. And then a week later, it's still active and it still says highest. And I'm like,
I've seen a couple of those lately. And I'm
or
like,
this will move
what
quickly.
happened here?
Motivated sellers. And it's been on the market for 200 days. And you're like, okay.
Yep.
Like update your notes.
That is such a ninja trick. We should do something like things that you don't think about, but that you should think about.
Right.
Because
like
there's things like
check your description once a week.
Well, even like, because I've had clients that are, the HVAC is being installed or something's happening and this is happening on this date, right? But then that date has come and gone, but it still says like new photos and measurements to be added.
Right. Or like, we're fixing this, but we didn't update the disclosures or we didn't include the invoices. Yeah. Or the one that gets me, inspection available upon request. Mm-hmm. No, just freaking attach it.
Yeah.
And if you need me to call you to discuss, then put inspection attached, call to discuss. Mm-hmm. But like, why do I have to call you to even look at it to then find out what's like? I can't. Please stop doing that. Yeah. All
right.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about professionalism ones. Let's actually rapid fire these because we've been here for a while.
I know.
Just listed it on the MLS. There's no marketing. There's no strategy. It's in the MLS. There's a yard or sign in the yard, and that's it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm picking up an expired listing next week because that's exactly what the agent did.
Yep. And that there was no, and listen, we've all had sellers that are difficult and are unwilling to do anything, but you can tell when that they've had some advice, had some cleaning done, had some painting done. So it was presented well, right? Because otherwise it's no staging, no paint, no decluttering. And then it's sitting, your seller's frustrated, everybody's frustrated. That kind of thing.
Yep. And then it sits and, everyone loses out in that situation.
Yeah. Or missing very, very basic info.
Yes.
In the MLS. Like one house that didn't even have that it had a garage checked, right? Which is just silly stuff. Or it says like see other remarks or whatever when there's like HOA. But then there's no HOA listed in the disclosures. And then I'm having to look at other properties in the neighborhood to see if I can find a contact information, info, something.
Or like the CCRs. Yes. I had an agent tell me, I had 2 agents and they are in the same office, so I know she wasn't lying to me. But our firm doesn't like us to put the HOA documents in the listing because it could be a liability. So you'll have to ask your closing attorney to pull those. Wait, what? So I have to write an offer before I can even see what the rules are? What if there's like, so now I'm putting due diligence on the line for my clients to, because I have clients who they need to add a garage in most places. So if they're not going to let us have an additional outbuilding, it's a deal breaker.
Right.
And nope, our broker, our firm doesn't, and I've never heard it before, but I was like,
interesting.
What? But yeah, I always, no, I would rather give you everything I have. And I mean, it's buyer beware. So they need to verify because maybe what I have was provided is outdated. I do my best to find the newest, but like, come on.
You can still give us somewhere to start.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And the other one, oh my God, when I go to a showing, it's been on the market for like a week and a half. This is how I know that nobody's looked at it. The combo code isn't in the Showing Time app. Like, they haven't put it in there. This has happened to me 3 times in the last month. There's no combo code in there. And so like, oh, yeah, it's blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why isn't it in there?
Or you get there, it says it's a Supra, and you get there and it's a combo.
And it's a combo.
Or, yeah. Or it's not where it's supposed to be. Or like I had one, they hid the lockbox on the spigot for the hose. In the, like I had to walk through their garden, their flower bed to get to it. And I not only was like, I'm trampling these flowers because there's no way around it. But also I was like, there's like the pine needles in here. How do I know there's not a snake buried in here? Come on.
Right.
Like I should not have to go on safari to find your lockbox.
It's true.
And so here's another one. And this is maybe just me being petty and nitpicky. But if I put a Supra on a house, or even a regular lockbox, I hide a second lockbox somewhere. Because what if someone does take my key? What if my Supra dies? I've had that happen. I don't want to have to say, oh, hold on, I'll be there in 30 minutes with a key. I want to say, go around to the back door. There's another lockbox. Here's the code. Like, have a backup idea. Plan. Oh, I don't have that. Because even like, if I need to send vendors and they don't have Supra, here's the backup lockbox. Like, it works in many cases. I love when you see MLS remarks that are all capitalized. Like, I'm like, why are you yelling at me? I'm a very loud person at times, but like, why are you yelling at me about this isn't a great neighborhood? It's in walking distance. Oh, look, 2 fair housing violations at once. Good job.
Oh, that's funny. All right. I think we're close to wrapping up, aren't we?
Yeah, I think our point is like these red flags show patterns of lack of systems, lack of care, lack of accountability. And in the long run, there's 2 people that pay for this. It's your clients and your reputation, because your clients' houses aren't going to get sold and your reputation is going to be damaged. Because
I'm going to add a third one though too, because it damages the reputation of a lot of realtors because people would just assume that they all operate the same.
Right, because those clients are going to say something to their friends and family who are then going to say this, and then next thing you know, it's the troll on TikTok, whatever 99 Miami 999, who says, "Well, just buy a Fizbo sign and you'll make $20 million." And that's why we have trolls on TikTok. Like, all of this compounds or snowballs, and it just makes the job harder for everyone. So like, I think my takeaway from this, my call to action is like, do better. Like, your clients deserve it. And if you heard yourself in this episode, then take some time in the next couple of days, scrub your listings, fix your systems, double check some things. None of us are perfect.
Yeah.
None of us, especially me. At the same time, I do everything in my power to avoid those situations on my listings.
Well, and some well-placed, helpful advice can go a long way. There has been an instance, I mean, when I first got licensed, one of the properties that I listed, the basement square footage had been listed as like additional square footage. It's not additional square footage, right? It was listed wrong. And the agent said, "Hey, don't know if you know this is in the wrong spot." And while I was mortified, right, I fixed it. They were very kind about it. "Hey, don't know if you know this, but it's not natural gas at the house, right? There's a propane tank." That's a big difference. Yeah. But we don't always have to be just like, hateful and spiteful and whatever. But we all have those agents that we know when we get to the closing table, we're just so glad to delete that number and never have to speak to them again.
Or even when we see their listings, there is an agent that I see. If my client sends her one of their listings or sends me one of their listings, I'm like,
oh God, okay. Deep breath. We got this. Yeah, but then you know what's coming. Right. So I think that's it. Yeah. I mean, Yeah.
I think our overall here is do better. 1% per day, one thing per day. Just try to be a little better, and that will raise the boats for everyone in this industry.
Yep.
So,
And on that note, we'll see you next week.
yes.
We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.